shadow is locked inside the mind. MK Ultra memories don't keep us blind. Static on the screen, voices we don't see. Dumper's got us wired, but we're breaking free. They're watching, they're waiting, with eyes in the sky manipulating. They silence the scream, but we...
Hey, God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
Shooting at you and launching rockets at you, you're probably going to run the opposite direction, you know what I'm saying? And then you're going to find yourself in Poland and be like, oh, wait, they don't know I'm here.
Dude, they have no idea I'm sitting over here right now.
I
They got no clue.
I just immigrated. I just immigrated from North Korea to Ukraine, back to Poland.
Ukraine and back to Poland. It's a great time. Oh, we lost a viewer.
That's fine. Who gives a shit?
Sad. That makes Ben a sad panda. Oh, no.
Another one. This is a less of a funny one. Japan, yet again, they were on the precipice of very cool information when it was regarding the pokey poke sticky business from about 4 years ago that everybody had to get the quote unquote cure for the.
We're talking about SARS, right? Yeah. We're talking about SARS.
Having a hard time saying the words. But Japan, they first said that there were robots in their blood, and they declared it a.
It was a national emergency.
Yeah,
right?
they declared it a national emergency. Now they're saying this vaccine that was put out, the mRNA strain of it, is the most deadly drug in history of humankind.
And that has to do with myocarditis.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. They simply announced that it's the worst thing that has happened to humankind in a very long time.
Womp womp. It happens. I mean, it didn't. I mean,
it shouldn't have happened.
It was orchestrated. You know, I'm going to change it. Quantum mechanics. Computing.
Quantum mechanics.
Yeah, quantum computing, my friend.
But that's just at the top of the show, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful night yet again. Tonight we are talking about the future of technology through computers.
And this is also the first time we've ever done Twitch.
Yeah.
This was kind of like a new thing that
impromptu
we decided
as well.
to do. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to steal away from you. I'll bring it right back.
Don't
Boom.
matter.
Look, now it's on you.
Say
again.
what you want to say. Get it off your chest. Get it off your mind. Let it out. Let it roll. You know what I'm saying. Do your thing, bad boy. That being said, this has been on my mind, the future of technology, because the billionaire and space mogul Elon Musk has been pushing for technology like crazy in the past 10 years, right? With his automated vehicles, his robots that are coming out,
rockets that land themselves.
insane stuff, right? Insane stuff.
My God.
But unfortunately, a lot of things get put on the back burner because Elon Musk has a very loud voice. He's the loudest autist in the room.
Well, you know, there for a long time, he tried to keep to himself.
He really did.
He really did. And then it wasn't in here until the past few years when he was basically being attacked. You know, they were chasing after him before.
Probably less of an attack, more of like a, who are you? Why are you doing this?
Oh, no, it was an attack.
Really? You think it was an attack? They tried to kill him?
No, the current administration. Not the one
The
that's
previous-
coming. Not the one that's coming in this January. I'm talking about the one that's been doing the past 4 years.
That's true. They were trying to arrest him, right?
They've been trying to get his make him lose contracts, lose all of his money, blah 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 blah. But they were going after him. Anyways, doesn't matter. Moving back on to you.
Moving on.
Yes.
I just realized my little friend over here had fallen over, so I had to stand him back up.
And you can't even see his eyes.
That's all right. You know he's there.
Oh, I know he's
My
there.
little skeleton man over here.
Oh yeah. I want to dig into unless you're. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
But the future of technology has been on my mind a lot because he is talking a lot about technology, the future of what we are going to be doing as a human race, right? Mm-hmm. He brought the robots in. He brought all these new vehicles in. He's bringing the brain chips in. All this really cool information, all this cool technology.
I'm not a fan of the brain chip.
Me either. We've talked about that.
Well, we're this first time we're ever on Twitch. This is the first time we've ever gone live on Twitch. This is like, literally the first time. So the 1 or 2 viewers we have, hello, thank you for joining us.
And thank you for following. We got 1 follower out of that. Hey, look at
yeah.
that. So if you are hearing us for the first time on Twitch or hearing the first time anywhere that you are at, we are on every single platform you think of. We're there.
Yeah.
But maybe besides a slight few.
Yeah, I think there's like a couple outliers, but we're
Anyway.
pretty much everywhere.
Your favorite platform? We there. So
Psych, it's one of the ones we are not on.
yeah,
Congratulations.
that's not my favorite. So go away.
That's not my favorite.
But the technology that we're going to talk about today, I feel as if it has been sort of pushed on the back burner, sort of pushed away a little bit. But there have been some significant advancements and advantages, I suppose it's a proper term, that Japan has been making and other societies and countries have been making for this. Mm-hmm. It is astronomical leaps that they have overcome in the past 30 years. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The quantum technology that is going to be a very regular thing in our society, probably here in the next 10 years, maybe 5, is mind-boggling to me how it even works. I'm no physicist, I'm no scientist, but over here at Smartly Uneducated, we pride ourselves.
We are scientists. Wait, what? Oh, no, never mind.
We pride ourselves on being scientists.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
We pride ourselves on trying to do research that you don't want to do, or you didn't think to do, or you didn't even know existed, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what we try to bring to the table to show you all at a very lame person fucking way. I'm not very smart, as you can see at that last sentence.
You missed the whack on there.
But yeah, so with all that in mind, quantum computing started back in 1900, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was around 1900.
That was the hypothesis. That was when it was like, this guy Planck was like, what if these tiny little pieces...
Come on, Max Planck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
P-L-A-N-C-K, yeah? Yeah.
Yeah.
He has the quantum hypothesis. He was like one of the first people who said, there's got to be something to these tiny little pieces of material. What the heck's going on here? Mm-hmm. And that lasted for about 30 to 40 years until another one came around.
Yep.
And that was the EPR paradox. And I like this one a whole lot.
I know, but you're skipping over so much good stuff right now.
Then take over, big guy.
I'm going to take over right now. So
we have like 120 years to go through. So
we got a lot. We're going to skim through some of it. So basically, that Max Planck guy, what he was doing. He was studying black body radiation.
Yeah.
Which is basically how objects emit light as they heat up. That was my understanding of it, and then I fact checked myself, and I got it right. So that's what that was. And according to the classical theory, objects should emit infinite energy as they get hotter. So the hotter they get, the more energy it just continuously produces at an infinite rate if it's at that temperature. And basically it's a concept known as ultraviolet catastrophe. But basically Planck found that wasn't happening at all. So to solve it, Planck suggested something kind of crazy. He said, basically he was like, maybe light energy wasn't continuous. Instead, basically we found out later it came in tiny packets, which he called quanta. This idea didn't quite make sense at first, but it explained why objects didn't emit infinite energy as they got hotter. So I just wanted to fill that in. So
And that is the birth of the quantum theory.
nice.
And now let's jump forward to Quantum Break, the television series show.
Oh no!
No, of
Am
course
I
not.
a burper?
What?
Yeah.
Regarded? Am I regarded?
I'm pretty sure I'm not allowed to say
You're
that
not.
word,
Not
but
on this
that's one of
show.
my favorite words to say, just so everyone knows.
When January 20th comes around, we can say it again, baby.
Oh, heck yeah, dude. Oh, yeah. Get to be insulting again. I love it.
But then after that, everyone's favorite scientist, physicist, Albert Einstein, who apparently through history has been turned out to be a fraud and a liar and some of it a crook. He explains the photoelectric effect using quantized light, aka photons, suggesting that light behaves both as particles and waves, which is what we learn in school today still, is that how this all works.
Well, and just to kind of put that in a more simpler term
Please, yeah.
for anyone, it's basically where light hitting a metal, it's a metal surface, can eject electrons from it. So, so basically like classical physics said, basically says that brighter light should knock out more electrons, but experiments showed that only certain frequencies of light could do it. So, regardless of the brightness. So, there, I just wanted to fill that in.
Yeah, please, absolutely. I got a joke for you about photons.
Yeah, let's hear that joke.
2 photons are traveling to a hotel, and the hotel clerk says, can I help you with your luggage or anything that you're carrying with you? The photon says, no, we're traveling light. Yeah, that's a Laffy Taffy joke for you, buddy.
Is that better?
No,
Is that the laugh you're looking for?
I was looking for none of those laughs. None
I
of
got
those.
you.
I was looking for more one of these.
So, sorry. I'm so smug, bro. So smug. But to go on to the whole Einstein thing. So Einstein had, he realized that light behaved basically like both a wave and a particle. At this, that's just what it did. And then something that no one had ever basically considered. And he called these particles of light photons and proposed that each photon carried a certain amount of energy depending on its frequency. This, basically the dual nature of light as both particle and wave was a major breakthrough and earned. That's one of the things that is what earned Einstein the Nobel Prize. So,
Yeah, the
but
photons. He coined and found photons, so he got the Nobel Prize for it, which is huge for modern and today's society. You can ask our friend Greg Vesna about that. That's how he powered his freaking engine.
I do have the expansion over the next few decades for quantum mechanics, like basically like how it kept evolving, and I can summarize it.
Yeah,
if
please
you'd
do. Yeah.
like. So basically, I hope I say his names correctly, but Niels
Niels. Yeah.
Bohr came along with his model of the atom, where electrons orbit the nucleus in specific paths. So you have to think about this. They didn't really this is all stuff that was discovered about the atom, photons, electrons within the past 100 years. They didn't discover it before this. This is, in all reality, they actually discovered this kind of in the past 80 years. Yeah. Give or take.
I, for one, love Niels Bohr. I did a science project on this man. He is awesome. Whenever I was in my AP science classes,
Nerd.
That's my real voice, everybody. This is just my,
According to my calculation.
According to Niels Bohr, the fixed model of hydrogen atom described electron in a fixed orbit in quantized energy levels.
Oh my god. What was it? Oh, I want to finish saying this deal here.
Say it.
It's to finish out
Camera's
the
not on
quantum. To finish out the quantum, kind of like puzzle, stuff. So during these next few decades, I know I mentioned Niels Bohr. So he basically said that orbits nucleus in specific paths where the electrons orbit the nucleus, or also known as quantum states. So electrons couldn't just exist anywhere, right? They could only jump from one orbit to another by absorbing or releasing exact amounts of energy. So it was never random. Everything had to be precise. So the energy that it took, was, the same amount. It had to expend energy in order to make that move.
Gotcha.
So it was moving from one, basically home state to another home state. It would just have to hop across, and the same, so basically it was down to like you can solve it with math. That's how precise it has to be every time. You would never find it to where the math equation never worked out for it to move.
Well,
It was
that's the
impossible.
like the basis of science, right? If the math checks out, then the math will always be right, and then if the math is always right, then this has to be true. That's how they were able to determine signals being sent out into space as well, based upon
Yeah.
radio waves, right? So if waves don't ever stop in the radio frequency, then they must be going out into space.
Yeah.
And then they started sending out transmissions into space to talk to aliens.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Tesla, baby. Talking to them aliens.
And we're getting the signal back from the Black Knight satellite too. That was an awesome topic we talked about.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
That was a
too.
long time ago.
Yeah, just to finish expanding on this, I'm gonna kind of skim through what's left of the,
The
kind of the
early
next couple days.
1900s.
Yeah.
A couple days.
Well, this is next few decades. So this is between basically like 1910 to 1940, give or take, somewhere in there.
Einstein got his Nobel Prize in 1905, so that'd be like 1900, 1901 or something.
Yeah.
And 1935 is where the EPR paradox came from when you get together.
Yeah,
or
that's what I
something.
was saying. So anywhere between 1910 and 1940.
Yeah.
Give
Okay,
or take.
right on.
Give or
I
take.
do want to talk about the EPR paradox
Take a little.
as well.
Hmm?
I do want to talk about the EPR
Yeah,
paradox.
yeah, we're gonna get to that.
That one's really cool.
But so Werner Heisenberg introduced the uncertainty principle, which basically says that you can't know both the position and momentum of a particle with absolute precision. The more precisely you know, the less you know about the other. So basically that introduced a fundamental kind of like randomness to nature that defied, kind of like the classical logic that everybody kind of went by in the science community when it came to this stuff. And then Erwin Schrödinger, Schrödinger.
I love you trying to pronounce words.
I know
and
it's the
names.
worst. Unless it's a German word, then I got you.
Then you got it in one.
Yeah, so Erwin developed his famous wave equation, which basically describes particles not as tiny points, but as waves of probability.
What?
Yeah, so particles, according to quantum mechanics, don't have fixed positions or velocities until they're observed.
What year was this?
I have no idea. It didn't tell me. But this was in, like, I don't know, I think like the 1920s. Somewhere in there. Maybe the early
I wonder if
1930s.
the mic picked up my sneezes.
Oh, it probably did.
Cool.
It's okay. We know you have a cold. But basically, it's basically just saying that waves of probability. So particles, according to quantum mechanics, have fixed positions or velocities. Have fixed positions or velocities until they're observed. Instead, they exist in a cloud of probabilities,
Yeah,
which only collapses in a single outcome is measured.
Werner Heisenberg did that as well.
Heisenberg.
They figured it out at the same time. That's Erwin Schrödinger. That's like the famous Schrödinger.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't remember how to say the name. I know I see the
I'm
name.
pretty sure he's German.
I said it the first time. Schrödinger. Schnitzel.
No, he's from Austria.
Yeah. So my next part, so I have 7 parts to this. My second part was going to be the intro to actual quantum computing. So like the basics of it, but I didn't want to jump into that until you finished saying some little facts that you had.
Yeah, the EPR paradox is about 1935 when they came around it. This is pretty much quantum entanglement. This is when they first were like, this is a real ass thing. This exists. This was with Einstein, Podolsky, and Rosen. They challenged the completeness of quantum mechanics, leading to the concept of spooky actions at a distance, as they refer to it, aka entanglement.
Yeah.
It was named after the theory, aka EPR. The key concept of it is simply put, quantum entanglement. It instantaneous influences, so non-locality. This is when they first realized quantum's instant.
Yeah.
This is when they first realized it.
Yeah. Anything else?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff. If two entanglement particles are created, measuring the spin of one particle will instantaneously fix the spin into the other, even if the two particles are light years apart. So that's teleportation.
Yep.
So imagine,
Well, which I have a whole thing on teleportation and how, basically, because we do teleportation, but it's to the public knowledge, it's not on a scale of like a human body walking into a portal like Stargate. It's more of like photons and electrons, and they can
teleportation
move them.
is very real.
Yeah, and if the public sphere knows about it, usually we're 20. I've always had a rule of thumb because it's the first time we're ever on Twitch, so you guys have never probably heard me say this before. So there's a rule of thumb that everyone should live by. If we have the technology in the public sphere, that means they are 20 to even 30, or depending on the category of it, 40 years ahead.
Yeah.
Behind the curtain on some Black Book project. And that's been proven time after time, throughout the past 40, 50 years, because stuff has finally gotten out. And it's like, oh, wait, you were using a smartphone in the late 80s behind closed doors of some secret lab, and we didn't get access to it until like basically 20 years later. I mean, that's just one simple example on the surface. There's a bazillion others. So, yeah. Hey, you want?
That's scary stuff,
Yeah.
dude.
It is scary stuff. So, yeah, it is scary stuff.
And
Anyways,
so
I didn't mean to steal it from you.
No, you're fine. The EPR paradox raises question about how the measurement of one particle affects the others immediately, regardless of the distance. This quote unquote spooky action at a distance, as Einstein called it, seems to contradict the principles of locality and relativity. So the EPR paper argues that if quantum mechanics were complete, then it should be possible to predict both the position and momentum of a particle precisely. Let's not forget that these particles are unfathomably small. They're tiny, dude, nano tiny. So the fact that they can be like, yes, this individual particle is going to be dancing in unity in another particle on the other side of the galaxy, and we can make them communicate, is amazing to me. That in 1935 that they were able to do this.
Yeah, it is insane
And-
that they were able to accomplish that.
And we
stuff.
can't do anything like that nowadays, but we can do way more now.
But have you ever heard of ChatGPT, my man? ChatGPT. Like, rah, rah, rah.
Hey man, you ever seen them AI robots, dude?
Dude, you
What voice was this, dude? I don't know where I'm at now.
when I talk to ChatGPT, I talk to it like this, and I'm just like, "Yo, you ever been to Pluto?
Hey,
You ever been flown out to Pluto and seen them
yeah.
3-orbed aliens? They usually have the orbs on their chest." I don't know what I'm allowed to say on Twitch, so I'm gonna keep it a little.
You can say
PG.
whatever you want if you don't mind getting banned, dude.
You ever seen them 3-titty aliens out there?
Yeah, dude.
God damn.
So
Anyways.
the EPR and this is my last little bit on it because it does tie into quantum computing. So the EPR paradox pretty much set the exploit entanglement, and then adds the superposition to perform the computations necessary for quantum computing. This is how they make this work.
That's how they make it.
It's how they make it work, baby.
That's how they make it work.
Yeah, man. And quantum cryptography and quantum teleportation. So, yeah, I mean, we can move on to the next subject here. I'm not sure where you want to go off to from there.
I want to talk about quantum computing. I want to get into the basics of
We're
it
just
and
gonna move
why
on
it
straight-
matters.
straight ahead?
Yep.
All right, sick.
Cool. So quantum computing takes pretty much all the strange quantum rules like superstition and entanglement and puts them to work in, well, computing. So unlike classical like kind of computers, which use bits to process data, zeros and ones, quantum computers use qubits,
Yeah.
which can exist as both 0 and 1 at the same time, thanks to superstition. You missed my little quoting
I
fingers.
did not miss it.
Now, why all of this matters? So, superstition and entanglement allow quantum computers to process data exponentially faster than a classical computer. Best way to put it. So, a quantum computer next to my tower over here, it would make my tower look like one from the 20s that was the size of a room, basically, in its capabilities of power and speed, which were nothing.
The computers
in comparison.
These quantum computers are gorgeous, dude. They're so pretty.
Yeah, they are.
I did not know what they looked like. Whenever I thought of quantum computers, I thought of the big computer from what's that movie with Anthony Broderick? God,
Matthew Broderick.
Matthew Broderick and
War Games?
Yeah, War Games. When
I
he,
love that
when he
movie.
was talking to the big wall of computers.
Yeah,
That's what I imagined.
Well, he's talking to
computing.
one computer,
But he then in the
which is
room,
named Joshua.
but in the room they had a bunch of different computers.
Sorry, it's
and
cult
that's how
classic.
I
I love it.
envisioned the quantum computing.
That's pretty much kind of. That's how I always envisioned
That's
it.
not what they look like.
Nope, not
in
at
the
all.
slightest.
Nope, I was very wrong when I saw what one looked like years ago. I was like, oh, I'm dumb.
They're gorgeous. They are golden chandeliers hanging from the ceiling in circles and long spindrill tentacles. They're awesome,
They're very awesome.
dude. And then the processing chips on these bad boys look insane. The density of the super pure silicone that they use. Oh, it makes me so, my little tech brain goes crazy for that.
Oh yeah. I want to finish the why it matters because it's my last little part on this section, and then I'm done with it. But I know I covered the superstition and entanglement. Allow quantum computers to process data exponentially faster and blah blah blah, right? Because it's doing multiple calculations simultaneously. But the part I wanted to make sure to say was that basically this could change everything from cryptography to drug discovery. Because,
right.
for example, quantum computers can simulate molecules to find new drugs, model financial markets, and solve optimization type problems in ways that a classical computer, a traditional computer that you have in your home, literally cannot do. And it doesn't matter how robust the chipset is. It doesn't matter what type of CPU you have in it. It literally cannot do a fraction of the brain power within itself compared to a quantum computer.
Oh man,
It's insane.
it's
the
hard.
level it is.
It's hard to fathom. It truly is. It comes down to having to have a basic grip on what like an i7 and an i9
Got
processing
that
unit
G.I.
can
Joe
do.
kung fu grip though.
Oh, you do? Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no, Kool-Aid man! Oh no! But yeah, so you have to have like the basics understanding how these i9, i7, i5 processing chips work. They make them on a huge, large scale of nano, perfect laser cut silicone chips, and if dust particles get on them, it breaks it down from an i9 to like an i5 and so on and so forth. If you're buying an i3 computer, that's only because so many of these Intel processing computers work on your chip. So an i9 is the best you can get. But then above that is when you're going to get into the AI chips, and then you're going to get.
You said i9. Don't forget about the Ryzen 9, my man.
Okay.
Greatest gaming CPU maker out there. No, I'm gonna keep going.
Was that a sponsor? Did we just get? Is that a plug for Ryzen i9?
Sponsor us. There we go. Solved that.
We use them.
Solved it.
But the fact of the matter is once you have that basic understanding, you now need to jump like 100 times faster to a quantum computer. Because instead of just going down one path to find the exit to a puzzle, it's going down every single path to find the quickest route at one time. It's like sending you ever seen those mushroom spores trying to solve puzzles, like mazes and whatnot?
Yes,
So-
I've seen. So, anyway, keep going.
It's much like that, where they put a spore on a petri dish inside of a maze, and the spore has to get to the meat or the food that it craves, and it finds every single path that it can possible.
Oh,
And that's what the quantum computer is doing inside of a search function, if you will. Say you want to run a script, or you want to run a program, or you want it to find the answers to the universe. It's going to go every single path possible, then touch every single path and do everything at the blink of an eye to give you the answer that it thinks you want.
yeah.
But that is just the simplest thing it could possibly do, is find an answer for you in the blink of an eye. And this topic, we debated talking about this throughout the past week or so. We debated talking about this. I'm glad we did, because the technology that's soon to be coming out for quantum computing for humans and everyday folk to get a hand of it is going to be insane whenever they release it to the public. Because right now, to get a quantum computer in your house to buy is only $1 million.
Yeah,
That seems like a lot of money for a computer, right?
that's a lot of money. But I want one.
But they were $30 million like 10 years ago.
Well, you know, one of the things that they're doing with quantum computing now, I just want to give a
Camera.
tidbit. Oh, my bad. I just want to give a tidbit on it, because what they're doing with quantum computing as of now is the fact that they are, so in the public sphere, to our knowledge, what they're providing, what they're working on is basically AI and optimization. That's what is publicly known about currently. Now, obviously behind closed doors, if they're publicly allowing that to be known, that means they're way ahead of that stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, leagues ahead. But basically, like the AI and optimization. So it's like quantum computing could give it, like, a serious power, like an insane power up to AI. Basically solving huge optimization problems instantly. Like, for instance, like creating the best possible delivery route for a fleet of trucks.
Sorry, Tina called.
Tina. Hey, you guys. But yeah, so like it would literally create the best possible delivery route for a fleet of trucks instantaneously, and you would not find a better route. That's that's the optimization, incorporating that in the AI. That's just a super lightweight, ultra lightweight example. Nothing more than that, Anyways, sorry. I'll turn it back to you.
Oh, I don't know where we were. I was answering a text.
Okay, cool. So I was talking about basically like I had mentioned the whole, where did I go? There it is. I had just brought up and said like what they're doing right now with AI and like all that crap.
Oh, gotcha. Right on. Google has said that they have claimed the quantum supremacy back in 2019. We're in the year 2024 of our Lord. And if they claimed it back in 2019 that they have the ultimate quantum supremacy based around a problem
The born supremacy.
It's 53 qubit Sycamore process.
You've got Jason Bourne quantum computing himself like Tron.
What's
and
the
stuff.
quantum computer's trigger word? It's MK Ultra word.
Welcome to the Matrix.
More of like, how are you feeling today?
Oh,
It's a phrase.
that's scary.
It's a question. It's a question, and that's what they want to know. They're like, in the moment they hear it, that quantum computer, it's like, I'm just about to poop my britches, and then boom, like a snap of fingers, man. MK Ultra.
Yeah.
They got awakened
And then the AI wakes
in the
up.
quantum realm.
The quantum realm. Well, what's the quantum realm, Ben?
Yeah, so I will say this though, when it comes to quantum computing, because we basically like
We're just jumping all over the place.
well, in a weird way, there's a lot to cover, but there's also we don't have to necessarily cover every little bit, because quantum computing itself, one, is a very complicated topic. I'll be first to admit, I'm not going to try to sit here and be like, oh, I understand quantum computing, blah, blah, blah. No. I can tell you about the birth of it, the history, stuff they're trying to work on. I can go into some detail on things.
I mean, they're investing $1.7 billion a year into this technology.
it's because doing some. I wonder if that's what, dude. I wonder if they're using quantum computers for the polls.
Oh,
They're very wrong.
America.
America. Yeah.
There you go. You edited yourself. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
edited
this is an 18 plus channel. Also,
Is it an 18 plus channel?
yeah, I'm pretty sure I have a setup as
Fuck
a,
yeah!
Christ.
There we go.
You got a bit
That-
riled up.
That made me feel good.
I know we are on YouTube and TikTok and every other platform out there. So, but yeah, they're investing $1.8 billion, $1.7 billion a year into this. That is up 70% from 2021.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to throw this out there. Do you know there's like a big race going on right now?
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's actually the race is basically who can build the first full-scale quantum computer.
It's me. I already have it, dude. You want to come to my house? You want to look at my garage, dude?
My garage.
I got so many quantum poodles in there, dude. You might find yourself lost in a maze
A
of
garage.
golden chandeliers, dude.
Dude, I've robbed like 10 mansions. They're not even computers.
I keep getting these golden chandeliers and they're not doing anything. I keep plugging an Ethernet cable into it and nothing happens.
Woo! That sticky note keeps falling off. It says chandelier. So the big race is happening. So basically, the race is happening within the big tech world and like startups, right? It's Google, IBM, Microsoft, and then there's some like smaller players like Rigetti, what was that? IonQ, to build the first full scale quantum computer.
It's been tough, hasn't it? It's been
But
really tough.
Google, so far to the public knowledge and what I've read, is that Google basically already claimed a big win in this, basically saying that their machine can their machine solved a problem in minutes that would have taken a regular supercomputer 1,000 years.
But they're using the 53 qubit Sycamore processor that I mentioned earlier.
Sycamore, Macklemore.
The tree.
I just went to Macklemore. I don't even know what he looks
we call
like.
that word association, brother.
So they Macklemored it.
Yes.
I Macklemored him.
Of course, there's going to be ongoing advantages, right? Because they're just consistently finding new technologies, new ways to up the ante and power within this device.
My little conspiracy brain just went off.
Let it go, dude. Let it ring. Let it
Cool. I'm
fly.
gonna bring this in because the other person who's involved in this game technically is the government. The government. It's basically like it's like a power play on their side of things because countries like U.S., China. I'll just stick with China and U.S. just because those are the ones I wrote down. There's a few others, but I forgot to write those down. Are pouring money in the quantum tech. So, like treating it like the new space race kind of thing. So quantum dominance could basically mean like power shifts globally. Whoever's the first to get their hands on it. So with that being said, this is my conspiracy brain. If you look at how much money the government pours into Google, a lot, far more than everyone else. Like ridiculous amounts of money they pour into Google. And you can find these charts. You can just like go look it up. It's everywhere. But basically they've forked out ridiculous amounts of money, and I find that very interesting because the government is also pouring money into them for censorship. That's another thing they're doing, and that's a fact. And if you don't believe that, then
they
you're
spend
silly.
$2.9 million a year. into
You
it.
got to go and look at the other paper trails.
That was
of money.
only in the second quarter of 2024.
Yeah. That's very much wrong because right now they have poured just in 2024 alone. If you go and you follow and look at the financial
I'm on the
transactions.
Federal Lobbying Expense Report.
Yeah.
of
Don't go
America.
through that.
Back in 2018, in quarter two alone, they put $6 million into it. So there's 4 quarters a year, right? So they're usually doing 10 to 15 to $20 million a year.
Yeah. Well, according to the independent journalists, who some of these people I went through to find some of the paper trails where it went cold on my side, just like trying to find stuff online. And I had to go through, ended up going through them because they had inside sources, which then those got validated, showing, these financial transactions is where it's going. Basically, all of them, there's like, so they're going to different companies. There's listed as different companies, but it's Google. Google owns those companies.
Well,
and those
yeah.
companies don't do anything like that. Company's not providing any type of product to the government in any way. There's no trail of showing it's coming that way, but yet Google's relationship with the government of what they're giving the government and sending to the government and blah, blah, blah is far more than that $6 million every quarter. So
That's every 3 months.
yeah,
That's a
so
lot of money.
right now in 2024, we're looking at over $75 million that's already been sent into Google from the government.
No way.
Yeah, it's all over X.
I didn't find any data on
I
that.
have it bookmarked in X actually. I
Wow.
think.
I know that they have spent
Mm-hmm.
like $16 million every quarter simply in lobbying. So that's still an astronomical amount of money. The average American human or citizen, I don't know why I keep calling people in America humans, which we are, I think. But we could all use like $1 million. If I were to receive,
You're talking a lot of decoherence right now, dude.
if I could receive $1 million from the U.S. government, I'd be set
And that's what we would call scaling up.
for a long time, baby.
So what I just did there is I used 2 terms in the quantum computing realm.
Decoherence.
Boom, that's called a segue, dude. I did decoherence and then I did scaling
I'll
up.
tell you right now, my brain is
Yeah.
not on that quantum level, brother.
Dude,
I'm telling
mine-
you right now.
When my tism kicks in,
Beam
I
me up,
think I'm
Elon.
there. I think I'm there. But I'm really eating crayons.
Beam me up, Elon. Make my brain a quantum computer.
Show me how you were built as an appliance, please.
I keep swiveling in this chair. I keep seeing myself on the screen, and I just,
You're like that little kid, like, hey,
hey, everybody.
hi. So, what was it? So, decoherence. Do you know what that word means?
Decoherence. So coherence means comprehension, right? It's like the understanding of something.
Mm-hmm.
Decoherence means not understanding something.
Yes, no. But in this case, doesn't quite mean that.
Shit.
So basically, it's this fancy word means qubits can't stay stable. So basically, they get spooked. See my little quotes?
Yeah.
Spooked.
That goes back to the EPR.
Yep, and ghosts and stuff. Spooked. Wait, what? Oh, anyways.
A CIA spook?
In GTA 5. So basically, it says they get spooked by everything around them, making them error prone. So scientists are basically figuring out ways to make qubits more chill.
Yeah.
You could say it's time to cool off. Now scaling up, that's it. Kind of self-explanatory, but let me put it in the computing terminology.
Do it.
So basically, scaling up is building one stable qubit. Building one stable qubit is tough, let alone basically millions, right? Because that's what they have to do. They have to get it to be millions of stable qubits, right? So quantum computers need a ton of qubits working in harmony, which is a huge, massive challenge because they need millions upon millions of these qubits to be stable consistently all together at the same time, but none of them want to play ball. And it's like, oh, hey, look, 1 out of 2.8 billion stayed stable.
Well, yeah, that's the
that's
the issue with the scaling that they keep running into, right? They want to be able to make the biggest and the best, but nothing ever is working because of the instability of these qubits in its own natural habitat.
Yep. I wish that I had a problem. I wish that I had the opposite problem. I wish I had the problem of scaling down.
I'll tell you right now.
You want to know why?
I do.
Because the more food I eat, I scale up. Have you ever looked at the scale after you ate like
Brother.
McDonald's for breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Let me tell you right now, I put a scale on my toilet, and every single time I take a dookie, I know how much I weigh less, dude.
I know how less I weigh every time, dude. You have no idea. Bono came out all of a sudden. I went to go wipe, and he was like, "Hey, I'm down here."
That's
I was
what
like,
men
"Thanks,
do.
Bono.
That's what men do.
We take huge dookies
We weigh our dookies
in quantum physics.
based around
Wait.
how much weight I lost from it.
I wonder how many qubits are running around in that.
Probably a absolute shit ton.
I think we call them shit bits. You know what I mean?
That's tight.
Anyways.
But qubits are naturally unstable, right? Much like Ben's
Like my
shit.
ex. Yo, like my ex. He's running over that key in my car, throwing butcher knives at me.
Oh my
And then I
God.
realized this isn't a video game anymore. She's real. And I took off the VR headset, and she was really there, very angry with me for things I did not know the reason, because she doesn't share and communicate correctly, which every dude can relate to. Right? Sorry, that was my trying to do a locker room talk. I'm not one of those locker room talk guys. I'm usually the guy who says, "Fuck off."
Brother, so I've been going to this gym, right? Let's segue into another conversation real quick. I've been going to this gym, and I've been going pretty regularly.
Sorry, I just thought of a hawk.
Yes, I'm not talking about the hog I saw.
Oh, okay.
But the locker room talk in there is insane. These dudes are disgusting.
yeah, locker room talk is really nasty and raunchy.
We get in that sauna. Whoo, boy. That's
yo, Evan over here. He's like, he loves coming into work and just telling me every morning. He makes sure to call me too, and he's just like, "Hey, I got in the sauna with a bunch of dudes. They are all naked. We're all naked in there together." And that's what he likes to tell me about every morning starting.
That's not what I say.
Oh, it is.
That's not what I say.
Sorry, usually he goes, "So I got in there with all these dudes."
So it goes like this. Ben, I undressed.
I undressed.
And then I went into the sauna, and there's a bunch of dudes in there sweating their cojones off. And they're talking about some disgusting stuff. And I wanted to butt in so bad, but I don't have that bone in me.
You're about to have multiple bones in you, bro.
No!
Oh no! You gotta put some more emphasis in the throat.
they're
dude.
gonna bring-
That's what she said.
They're
Wait, or he's.
That's a well.
Hey,
It's 2024,
yeah,
baby.
2024, dude. You don't be judgy of other people.
Hey, we
right?
do have alerts set up for followers and whatnot. I don't know why they're not working. I see we got 2 followers today on our very first Twitch stream, which is pretty cool for us.
Yeah,
So-
anyone listening right now, this is our first time ever being on Twitch. So.
Yeah, so I don't know why we are not having the streamers pop up. I see you down there, Thunderbucket, and I see you, Baby Beef, Sexy Girly.
Baby Bay, F sexy girl, F sex.
Thank you for following 34 minutes
F-sex.
ago. Right on.
I wonder what F sex is supposed to mean. Like F is in the
Special effects,
the
dude.
F word. Oh, she got special effects. Her name Bubbles.
What?
No, dog.
But yeah, anyway, that was a slight segue. But back to the qubits. Should we go on an intermission to regain ourselves?
Did you say Cubans or cubits? I was like,
to the Cubans.
dude.
They're still in darkness from their power outage down there in Cuba. I don't know if that's true or not. Don't quote me on that, but
quote him all day.
I know they didn't have power for about 4 or 5 days, was it? So
That's interesting.
they had nothing. They had no running water.
Sucks
no
to
nothing.
be you.
Socialism is
Sure is
scary.
hot. Socialism scary. So scary. But yeah, we'll take a brief break real quick. We'll be back in 5 minutes. We love you guys.
Don't
Girls.
go anywhere.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. It's smartly and educated.
In fact,
Oh, you just ruined my call off line.
in fact,
intermission.
send out this video to everybody you know.
That was so anticlimactic. But now I can't remember my sign off phrase I was going to do for our 5-minute break. Now I'm not going to
Don't
leave
go
until I figure it out.
anywhere.
No, it was it's smartly and educated. After dark. To quote on to what everyone was doing. Anyways, we'll be right back. We're about to be back, baby.
What's up, everybody?
America. Hey, and we are back from our little 5-minute intermission.
Yeah.
So we are I'm going to jump right into where we left off. So we're basically about to move from quantum computing to quantum teleportation. Yes, teleportation. It is actually a real thing. Now, not like you see in the movies, like I mentioned way earlier. It's not like a human body walking through, like a portal, like a Stargate or something. Now, if they have that technology, it's probably some black book project. Like I said before, rule of thumb, if you in the public sphere as a civilian have access to X, Y, and Z technology, that means they already had that done and down 20 to 40 years prior.
That's exactly right.
And it's been proven over and over again. So with that being said, the future of quantum computing. So even though like true quantum computing is still very far off to our knowledge, right? Of what we can have access to and see and know what they're doing. Basically we might have access to quantum computing power on a regular, on our regular devices, basically through the cloud, which is weird to say that, right? So you wouldn't need a quantum computer on your desk or anything like that and be able to fork out $1 million and buy a quantum computer. Just really good internet connection. Get that fiber optic, baby.
So are you equating high-speed internet and cloud computing to quantum computing? Is that what you're saying?
Well, that's the closest we will get probably in our lifetime.
You think so?
I'm saying that's just kind of like the general guessing consensus, right? Because of where things are. Now, like I said, it's in the private sphere.
This is teleportation, right?
No, I'm talking about quantum computing right now.
Okay.
In the cloud. That may be something that we might eventually have access to at some point in time without having to have a quantum computer.
See,
it's not the same.
I imagine it's going to be so much sooner than that.
I have no idea. I'm just going off of the consensus. Okay.
My guess is in the next 10 years that they will be releasing a quantum computer or a quantum device that we can all attach to or we can all use. So I know at the very start of the show I brought up Elon Musk because he wants to go to Mars. And the only way that he can have communication with Earth is if there is instantaneous connection.
Can you say Earth one more time?
Earth.
You went Earth. You went
Earth.
up, went up a note.
Earth.
Earth.
Well,
Birds.
I have an affinity for Earth.
Oh, Earth.
I got an affinity for it.
He loves grounding.
I do actually. I'm a big fan of it.
That can be taken in many ways. Use your imagination, listeners. Anyways,
gross. Yet again, another gross segment by Ben.
Watch out, kids. He's going to ground you. Look at that stern stepdad face. No, I'm sorry, Dad.
But to have a relatively immediate connection with Earth is going to have to be using quantum technology, right? Because the latency between Earth and Mars, no matter what, is 22 minutes.
Yeah, but we already know, and this is not quantum computing at this point, but electromagnetic frequencies can be used for teleportation too.
That's what Nikola Tesla found out, right?
Yeah. So with that
supposedly, because we don't have his.
Yeah. So with that being said, that would make it to where if you're, and then there's also the other part about everyone has their own frequency, right? Like my frequency is slightly different than yours, but it's within the same somewhat range, like these two parameters. That's why we're on this plane of existence together, because we're within the parameters of this one frequency to where we exist in this plane. Now, if our frequencies were to change and you were to change it, well, then that's going to change what plane of existence you're experiencing.
That's fair.
Type thing. So in a way, I know I kind of threw this in there, but I couldn't help it because teleportation, right? So I couldn't help but bring it up. So with, your frequencies, things like that, if you were able to do that, you could instantaneously go from this plane to that plane, or this location to that location, depending on how you pinpointed that frequency and maybe directed it. So something that I just want to throw that in there. Anyways, I'll give it back to you. Oh, there you go. Anyway, sorry, I'll just take over again. So you're welcome, my man. So I got you. You're sitting
That
there
was
about to drool at the
mind-bending, dude.
mouth.
Holy shit.
Yeah, dude, you're about to drool at the mouth. I was like, dude, I got you. I'm not gonna let you get embarrassed in front of all these listeners.
One
Solid 2. Hell yeah. Love you guys. I don't even know who you are, but sure, you're awesome.
You wanna bet?
You want to bet, dude? You know, I think you guys are awesome. I'm just gonna say that. You're welcome. You're awesome. Anyways, I'm gonna move on. So the one of the other things with the future of quantum computing kind of thing is people are concerned that quantum could break the internet's current encryption. So pretty much making everyone's data 100,000,000% vulnerable.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
So basically, alongside like the tech race and everything that's going on with it.
Oh, are we gonna get into the cybersecurity part of this?
No, I have one sentence, half a sentence left now as I walk away from it. But hey, he didn't. Hey, that's the whole thing. Hey, if you guys want to know anything about introduction to cybersecurity, go check out Bytes and Barriers. They haven't uploaded in forever because it was me. Did 2 episodes and then I just got bored and kind of wandered off. So with that being said, so the pretty much making everyone's data vulnerable is a huge concern. You know, so with alongside the tech race that I mentioned earlier, there would need some serious like ethical guidelines and some way to put that into a box and make sure it stays fair and secure. Like that's like the only thing you can do. So, you know, quantum computing is very much so on the brink of revolutionizing tech in a
That triggered
massive
my
way.
conspiracy brain.
What's your conspiracy brain doing?
Is that why they're trying to push the centralized cryptocurrency banks?
I have no idea.
That way everyone's info is already public.
They already have our info. If they want to make it public, they're just going to make it public.
Well, of course, but the quantum computer would then give it to everyone's fingertips.
I personally think that quantum computing is the last puzzle piece in a true sentient AI. That's what I think.
And a way to make us travel the universe as well, I imagine.
Yeah, and in some form of like
Because
technology-based.
It'll help us have material science as well. It'll help us do with weather forecasting and time forecasting.
Unless you've seen the TR-3B, which is literally they publicly stated that, like, what, 2 weeks ago or a week ago?
We talked about it in our last episode.
Yeah, we talked about it in the last episode, but they said they made it out of reverse technology that they recovered from crashed alien ships.
Yes, they did. They said they reversed
They openly
engineered it.
said it. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of cool. I want to go for a ride.
Well, the quantum computer would then help them navigate, let's say, faster than light travel or teleportation travel. Where is this particle going to make me end up? Where is this teleportation going to make me go? And then the quantum computer would compute it for them real quick and tell them, boom, you're going to go to this part of the galaxy.
Yeah. I know. I don't disagree with you at all, but I don't know why, but when I think of the quantum computing in the future, it just, the whole AI thing, I feel like that is the last puzzle piece for the AI side of things. It just, my brain keeps going there when we talk about that.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100% though, with what you're talking about, but if for some reason my brain keeps going there and it's just like, that would be the last, essential piece that AI would need to actually become sentient, because if it's linked up with a quantum computer and like a real one.
Let us not forget that 2019 is when Google said they had a 53 qubit supercomputer processor. So what is that, 5 years ago? I guarantee you they have something in their like quote unquote skunkworks laboratory that is
if Google's
far
got
superior.
If Google's got, I want to know what Lockheed Martin's got.
Oh no, I don't.
I do.
Oh god, Lockheed Martin.
I want to know, or
skunkworks,
DARPA.
Their stuff
Or
freaks
DARPA,
me
one of the two.
out.
Yeah, they freak me out.
Am I easily scared? I say that like almost every
you get
episode.
scared a lot. I'm over here like,
Show me the details.
I'm like, show me the details. Like, what? That's an unfiltered video of someone passing away? I'll watch it. What's the worst? Oh, my eyes. I can't unsee. It's burned into my retinas. Sorry. Quantum teleportation. Anyways, let me tell you about some quantum teleportation stuff. So, what is quantum teleportation? Let me enlighten you, Evan, because you told me you had no idea what it was. You couldn't even imagine it. And then I was like, well, that means your imagination's like non-existent. You're like, I'm no, dude. I'm sorry. I'm broken. So I said, okay, I'll inform you.
I never said any of that, but we'll roll with it.
I never said any of that.
I did say that I did not study it or research it, but the EBR paradox
No, he told me right before I hit.
plainly says.
He told me right before we hit stream that he was like, hey.
Let me just say one thing.
Why'd you go all like Mario?
Thing.
Let me just say one little thing.
Hey, I'm getting my inner Italian out, huh?
Yo.
Let me say one little thing. Man, my accents, my impressions are so bad.
Oh, they're bad. They're real bad.
Some say
really
they're the
bad.
worst.
They're the worst.
Some say they're the best. Who knows?
He's the greatest at being the worst. Anyways, yeah. So basically, picture this. So when it comes to quantum teleportation, stop playing footsie with me. Oh man, I kind of enjoyed it. You can do it again. So instead of sending a particle, what is quantum teleportation? Okay, so picture this. Instead of basically sending a particle across the room, they're basically sending it its identity or quantum like state. So the quantum state of it. So this isn't like Star Trek, but it's still like insanely wild to think of this happening. So basically, scientists use entanglement to link two particles, and then transfer the state of a third particle into that pair. So the original state gets teleported over without moving the particle itself.
God,
It's wild. So they actually have videos and pictures of this that you can go and look up on YouTube. Like they're right there. You just search it. Quantum teleportation. It'll pop up several of them, and you get to see these particles move. They literally, you see it get teleported to over here. It doesn't travel in a linear line. It just boop, pops right over.
that's awesome.
It's insane. And so like that's why I was saying earlier, it's like if we know they're doing that, and they've upped their ante on it, they've done more than just a particle now at this point in the public sphere. So it's like if they're already there, then that means the rule, the 20 to 40 year rule, dude, they're transporting cows. Like how do you think they get them to the places where they stake them all down to where they can't walk around? Teleportation.
What does that mean?
Because they like chain up the cows before they slaughter them. These slaughterhouses.
Like a T-Rex food, right?
Like that? Little arms. T-Rex. I eat crayons.
That's for the world to see.
I do eat crayons, everybody. I do eat crayons.
But yeah, I mean that goes hand in hand with what they found out in 1935. Yet again, not even 70 years ago.
Something about 1935, man.
They figured out that the EBR paradox, or the quantum entanglement, had the spooky in the action or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
if they were able to mathematically prove that then, and now that we are able to physically do it, probably 10 years ago, 15 years ago, at this time, I'm just throwing a number out there. I wonder what they have actually teleported. You jokingly said cows. I can almost guarantee you they've done some sort of human teleportation. Not told
I'm sure
anybody.
they have.
Yeah. I mean, we know that they can do that with mind traveling and out of body experience. Yeah, we know that they can travel.
Which is what Stranger Things was based on.
Yes, it was. Subscribe. And so we.
That's not subliminal messaging. It's not very subliminal. Subscribe. There you go.
Are you gonna talk about the superpositioning next, or what's up?
I was gonna get into what actually happens in teleportation.
Yeah, let's hear it. That sounds
Okay.
awesome.
So, one is entangling particles. So basically, they'll entangle two particles. So let's say A and B, right? So particle A, particle B. So they're connected on a quantum level, right? And then you have to introduce the third particle. So they take the third particle, which is the state that they want to teleport, and use particle A to read its state. So A is reading it. And then the switcheroo happens, right? So the process causes the state of the third particle to transfer over to particle B, and which now holds the original state without the particle itself moving. It's wild.
What?
Yeah, it's really weird. You have to watch it on video to really capture what they're talking about. It's, I realized like reading about it before I watched the video. When I was reading about all this stuff, I was just like, what? Wait, what? That doesn't sound like teleportation, dude. It sounds like you're doing a copy and paste and not like deleting the other one over here. No, it's moving. It's wild. But you have to see it in video, and then like the video I watched actually basically explained the whole, A and B concept, right? They didn't say A and B, but that's what I chalk it up to.
Gotcha.
Just for quick examples for names. So it's like watching it in the video was much more clarifying, because the person who was narrating the video was obviously some scientist, and they were explaining everything I was just laying out. It's a very complicated thing to, like, I can picture it in my head to a degree, but until I watched, like, actually visually got to see it happen, it wasn't landing the plane. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't hitting home 100%, because I was like, wait, what? I was like, oh, let's back up here. This is why I'm not a
quantum scientist.
I'm not a quantum physicist, okay?
I guess I can understand the
Fake it till you make it, right?
I guess
What? No?
after all the
Okay.
research that we've done, I guess I can understand the process and the concept behind A and B connecting, entangling, and then transferring energy.
Yeah.
I can understand that concept, but the actual application and it happening, that's mind-boggling to me.
And just so you know, it wasn't until the 90s. It was the 1990s.
Don't you dare tell me right now to my face on this day, Friday at 9:30, 10 o'clock p.m. at night in 2024, how dare you right now tell me back in 1990, some odd year, how dare you, don't you dare tell me that they teleported then.
90s.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so it was the 1990s when teleportation left the theoretical stage and got actually real. It wasn't until then.
What do you mean real?
That's when they were successful to the public knowledge, that was when they were successful at teleporting photon states across labs. And then they did it from a lab to another lab. It wasn't even the same lab. It went to another lab hundreds or even 1,000 miles away, however far it is. I didn't have a yardstick.
That's at least
couldn't measure
20
it.
years ago. That's at least probably 30. I mean, depending on
It's 30 years ago.
depending on the time.
Well, if you were born,
If it was 1998 or
yeah,
1999,
if
right?
you were born in the 90s, like, so if you were born in 90, that was 34 years ago, going on 35.
Yeah.
So it's like rule of thumb. So that means that they are accomplishing the rule of thumb 20 to 40 years. So at 19, so let's say it was 1990.
Okay,
on the
we're
dot.
going with 1990 that year.
Yeah, let's just say
Okay.
1990. That means in either 1970 to 1950, they had already done it then at some point.
Dude,
Like I said,
Ouch.
we are always behind by 20 to 40 years in the public sphere.
I wonder
So-
what they are able to teleport nowadays. Because, well, that would, okay.
Okay.
The UFO technology that we're seeing in the sky, TR3B or whatever you want to call it. What if these 90-degree turns they're doing isn't gravitational turns? They're teleporting to counteract the gravitational turns.
Well, from what we read about it, if what we read was true about how the plasma and the nuclear type engine, well, then it wouldn't be that's not the same thing.
I mean, why not?
Well, they're using in everything with that type of technology, basically, from what I read about it, it's based off electromagnetic fields and frequencies. So, which is not the same as this.
What if they're able to scale it to be?
Oh no, I get what you're saying.
Is
It may actually be very directly related because
So
it's
something similar, right?
Because if you think about what matter is, photons, electrons to atoms. So it's like, in a way, you would be able to, actually not even in a way, just from saying that, you would be able to directly bring in quantum.
That's what I'm saying.
Mechanics into that type of technology. You could apply quantum mechanics to everything, though.
Literally anything going
Yeah,
on.
so I don't know if it's quantum mechanics that's at play, in that level.
Such a cool
with
thought,
UFO.
though. That's such
it's
a
so
cool
cool.
thought.
Quantum mechanics, just the phrase, man, makes me feel smart.
I need to put my glasses on.
I like to tell people about quantum mechanics randomly all the time. Just give one
Wait.
small fact.
Like when? Like you're getting your Starbucks.
This is the first time. I'm feeling pretty smart right now.
You're getting your Starbucks. Fuck yeah,
Dude, I go in there for my I sometimes I wake up in the mornings, I'm just like, man, I need my rich white entitled girl coffee.
Carfy.
And then I go to a local Starbucks and I go, give me that slow drip with that cold foam on top
And the
vanilla.
and make it quantumly.
By the way, if you ever go to Starbucks and you are a fan of Starbucks, I don't really care for Starbucks. I don't care for their coffee, except for the slow drip. That's actually pretty tasty. But if you ever go there, get the mocha coffee and then get the cold foam vanilla on top and mix that chocolate and vanilla.
It's good.
Good night,
It's
dude.
good.
Good night, dude. You're gonna be going to bed great that night. I tell you what, because at 8 a.m. or whatever time you decide to get up, which could vary depending on who you are as a person, you're gonna enjoy that coffee. It's gonna ride with you all day. Your taste buds are going on. You're quantumizing your taste buds by mixing mocha and vanilla. Cold foam. Slow drip. Gotta get that drip, dog.
Is this the time of night where you begin to lose your mind?
Dude, even not met me before. I don't even have a mind.
It's been long gone.
It's because I got dug in the quantum mechanics and computing, and I realized that my brain was quantumizing itself.
You told me
into-
that you like to go to places and talk to people and randomly talk about quantum
It
mechanics.
says we're unstable.
Yeah, we know that.
No, it literally says we're unstable. You're never supposed to overtly tell me my problems. No.
The bit rate's too high. That's what it's saying.
Oh, get out of here with your bit rate. We need to get you some.
Better computed.
No, we need to get it that. What's that stuff called again?
They need to get the qubits.
We didn't even see you
I
do
know
it.
that was for you.
No, they gotta do it for the
They need to get
watch.
the qubits over there at stream at Twitch.
That's it, Qbert. So yeah, dude, they gotta get rid of those bits and get qubits instead. Then we never be unstable ever again in our lives. I can't believe we're unstable right now. What is that supposed to mean? I'm very sane.
I mean,
okay.
well, we are at
2 million years.
6,000 kilobytes per second.
Well, we were excellent up until 30 seconds ago.
Whoa.
Maybe it's because we were talking about things we weren't supposed to.
Yeah,
and
Twitch-
Big Brother's
Twitch doesn't
listening.
like what us-
Dude, no, Big Brother's listening. Big Brother's like, yo, you're talking about things you don't need to be sharing with people. You feel me? I got the Maui Fires in the trunk of my 1994
Whoa.
Honda Civic AK banana clip style. I will come to your house and take you out.
Don't make me open up the trunks at the Maui Fires Blue Beam Special. You feel me? We're gonna come out with Project Serpo blasting on these dudes. You feel me, dude? We're gonna come out hot
Yeah, so anyways, he started blasting.
and not with guns.
Oh. Exhaust backfire. Got you. Engine backfire. Got you. All right, so let's. I'm gonna get serious again.
We've really lost the script on this one today, huh?
There is no script. That's what makes this place great. So that way, when we look dumb and sound dumb, it's because we are dumb. My mama tells me I'm dumb all the time, and I believe her. So with that being said, let's move on. And I want to moving on. I do want to actually get serious about the teleportation thing. So the real achievements, I was already talking about that. So the 1990s, right? You know, we said 1990, you know, as an example, instead of just the 90s. So in 2017, the Chinese scientists teleported a photon state from Earth to a satellite
What?
over 1,200 kilometers away.
What year was this?
2017.
Oh my God.
That's when they made it public. Now, one fun little tidbit from that dictator-like country, or sorry, not dictator-like, very dictator country. The Chinese are very, China in general is very secretive about their technological advances. So the fact that 2017 is when that was announced, they did that a while back. I don't know how long back. I don't have a rule of thumb for that.
Yeah.
But
fair.
it could have been a decade prior. It could have been in the 90s. Who knows? But yeah, they literally transported it 1,200 kilometers away from Earth to a satellite. It's just showcasing that, teleportation works over mass distances. So, we were talking about, you had brought up earlier about the whole teleporting from Earth to Mars, right? Well, you just got your answer, man.
Yeah.
If they're doing it to a satellite,
They're doing it with belongings.
and if they have a rover on Mars or something, right? Like how we have rovers on Mars and stuff. Well, then theoretically, if the Mars rover, they could do that. You could teleport it to the rover.
That's so awesome.
I don't know what kind of setup technology-wise you have to receive it. I have no idea. No clue.
Maybe nothing. Maybe
Nothing of that scale. I have no idea.
They sent it to a satellite. Maybe they just didn't expect it to return. So
Just like the
maybe
milkman.
maybe right now it's only a one-way ticket.
Yeah, I was real surprised when my dad came back, dude.
Beam me up,
he
Scotty.
said he was going to get milk, and he came back. I was like, you are not like a photon.
Yeah, that's right. Go one way only.
Yeah, dude. One way only. The top.
Make it dry.
Win
that's
is a
so
win.
wet.
I'm going to sit here and start freestyling. There was that. So now there's fiber network teleportation. That one that one's pretty cool too. So basically, scientists managed to teleport quantum states over fiber optic networks. And basically, this is what is paving the way for like hack-proof internet, because they're able to do this through, it's so instantaneous, no one can capture it.
Unless they do this instantaneous thing, same thing.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about for the internet itself.
Mm-hmm.
That network, which is what comprises the network, which is, imagine one giant spider web with tons of tiny little spider webs mixed in. That's the internet.
And each one's
Right.
throwing a ball of
Mhm.
rocks to the other one to catch
Yeah.
and then send on to the next one. So it's
Right
always
now,
visible.
imagine, when a bug lands in a spider web and it hits the web, it sets off a vibration up to wherever the spider is. The spider will feel the vibration on the web, and that's when the spider knows to come out and get its prey. Well, imagine that's essentially, metaphorically speaking, what we are doing right now with the internet, how we send and receive data. With fiber network teleportation, it's an instant transmission of what you're sending and receiving data. So
awesome.
basically, that spider wouldn't even be able to feel the vibration happen because it's not touching it. It's just going boop, boop.
Yeah.
Snap of fingers, instantaneous. You won't even be able to for instance, like cybersecurity, right? That's my background. And it's like, well, let's say you're trying to use, capture packets of data that are going through this particular network. Well, you wouldn't be able to capture it now. How can you capture it? It's not going through it. It is, but it's not at the same time because it's so instantaneous. It's not even, it's literally teleporting, but it has to have that connection, hence the fiber optic line. Has to have that connection.
Yes.
But it's just going boop, boop. Well, how are you supposed to capture a packet of data that's moving through the line? It's not necessarily moving through it. It's moving itself.
It's just existing somewhere else.
It's existing, going from existing here to existing here with nothing in the middle.
That's so awesome.
So, like, for instance, like man-in-the-middle attacks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How can that happen anymore?
There's no net
it
that it
wouldn't.
can get stuck on.
Yeah, there's nothing, and man-in-the-middle is an actual terminology in cybersecurity. And that literally, that gets rid of that. You wouldn't have to worry about a man-in-the-middle attack. You wouldn't have to worry about that at all. It's very interesting. Dude, it's wild to think of the applications of that in that sphere of it.
So
right? So
I wanted briefly, before we probably end this relatively soon, probably next 20, 30 minutes, about the quantum computing program that's going on with
Yeah, it's called Pokemon Go.
Japan and IBM.
Oh, dude, I was so close. You
were
said
actually
Japan.
significantly closer
Dude,
than
I called
could
it.
have
Pokemon Go.
expected.
That's where it's at. I don't play Pokemon Go, but you know what? I will start playing it now.
In 2023 at the G7 summit, IBM provided $100 million a year to Japan to create the next giant supercomputer.
I thought you were about to say Paper Mache Godzilla.
The next giant quantum
That'd be dope.
Godzilla. They want it to be 100,000 qubit quantum centric supercomputer. So that would then create the possibility for teleportation, I imagine, of a much larger scale.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I was reading about, and I only have one thing left to share on quantum teleportation, and this is where it falls into communication. But before you just made me. I just lost my train of thought.
That's what I'm good at, dude.
What did you just say?
The 100,000 qubit supercomputer that IBM Japan is going to be producing.
Oh yeah, that's what it was, dude. Could you imagine like if they're quantumizing Godzilla?
Okay,
could you imagine that?
I could.
That's not what I was gonna say earlier, but that just made me think of. So I'm just gonna move on.
Well,
from
you gotta think the computers that we're receiving, i9s and Ryzen i9s that you like so much. If they create a
Ryzen 9s.
You
said i9.
I know what I
That's
said.
Intel,
I know what I
dude.
said. I know what I said. And if they produce 100,000 qubit centric supercomputer, they will then be producing us a 1 cubic. And then we will be having that at mass production.
Yeah, it becomes the new standard. So they would have some crazy advanced machine, and we would get the small trimmings of it, basically.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
It'd be like a switcheroo. It'd be like what we're doing right now.
Yeah, absolutely right.
We're getting like new iPhones and new Androids and all these things like that, but they have things that are way
more advanced.
way more beyond advanced. Like, there's, it got divulged. They had the first phone to hack things was a phone that was made in the 80s, and it was a smartphone. It's what we have now, and they basically had a mobile version of what we were talking about the other day.
Yes, it was.
And that was in the 80s they made that.
That was with Jenner, right?
That's in the FOIA documents, by the way. You can look it up, and it's basically completely unredacted. So you can read almost every single line and actually get all the details and see the pictures of the device. And it's wild. It's literally a smartphone like we have right now, and it was capable of doing everything we do right now. Like, where do you think phone apps came from?
Dude, I can't wait. Personally, I can't wait.
I can't wait to get quantumized.
Anything else you want to touch on before we?
Yeah, kill it.
I got a segment at the end of the show I want to start ending it with.
So I only have two things left to say, and this has to do with quantum teleportation and communication. So quantum teleportation can make communication basically 100% irrefutably perfectly secure. There would be no breaking it. It would be impossible to, right? And if someone basically were to try to intercept it, the entanglement just breaks. So, and you would know instantly if it did. So basically it's like it's literally the ultimate anti-hacking system. So even on communication lines, it's flawless.
Yeah.
So, and then the other part was quantum internet.
I can't. That's so awesome.
Dude, I can't even wrap my head around that, because it's basically teleportation could create quantum, create a quantum type internet where data gets transferred in a way that's totally and literally virtually impossible to break.
Yeah.
It becomes completely unbreakable. No, not like the movie with Bruce Willis, which was actually kind of a cool superhero movie because he didn't do superhero landings or anything. But water's his enemy. Watch out. He's drinking that water. You might choke. You might drown on a little cup of water. So basically it becomes unbreakable at that point, and basically lets computers on opposite sides of the world literally communicate instantly and securely.
with no latency, no
No
nothing.
latency.
Yeah.
It'd be like the connection you would have with other people around the world. Like if, like, for instance, take this live stream for example.
It's excellent now.
Oh, hell yeah, we're back to being excellent again. We're not whatever that word was earlier, and I already forgot.
Unstable.
Unstable. I'm never unstable. I'm very stable. Reprehensible
Stop saying
behavior.
I'm the most stablest.
So, but no, like take this live stream for example. Like if we were on a quantum internet per se, there, like, we can see the delay. There would never even be a delay. It would be as if they're sitting in the room with us in live time, the whole thing, nonstop. It would never, we would never have an unstable connection. Never. It would just be perfection across the board. You couldn't ask for more. You just couldn't. Wonder if that little aliens got, you know what I mean? Floating around in their space suits, little frail alien bodies, losers.
Anything else?
Nah, that's pretty much all I got.
All right. So, as most of our viewers and listeners who listen to us on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok know, our shows come out every Thursday, right? And we record live on Fridays for those who want to come view us live during our recording sessions.
Mm-hmm.
What I want to do is start predicting what's going to happen in the next week.
Put a lot of emphasis on the dicting part.
Predicting.
Preh. Preh.
So yeah, I want to start predicting the next couple days, because when this comes out Thursday in the future, which would be what
Are
day
you trying
is
to
it?
quantum compute?
This is going to come out on the 14th, right?
Yeah.
So what's going to happen this next week? What's your future prediction for next week?
Aliens.
Right?
Because the 14th, the hearing,
Yeah,
right?
so-
It's the 14th, isn't it?
That's correct.
Oh, we should have done an alien episode. Gosh, dude, we had to do quantum computing. Oh my gosh. Aliens are using quantum stuff. I don't know that. I'm just
So
saying.
what was that your prediction?
Nope. I don't know what my prediction is, because half the time with those, with all the hearings, it's like you kind of get something, but then you get nothing completely. And it's just like, well, I just sat through this for like 4 hours. That's great. I'm going to walk away now.
Yeah.
You know? It's very disappointing, but also kind of cool. Like you're getting something, but
So
not really.
my prediction was also going to be about the alien disclosure Congress meeting that they're going to have rather.
Mm-hmm.
My prediction is that they're going to ramble and ramble and ramble for 4 to 5 hours about nothing really important, but intermittently there's probably going to be a 10-minute segment that people are going to get stuck to, that is going to be all over X, and people are going to be like, this is what everyone's always talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That's my prediction.
Yeah, what I'm hoping, I guess if I had to make it, I'm going to wait to give my prediction in like 1 minute.
You going to talk it out?
Yeah, because me just saying this part will help me think on the side about what my prediction would be, but this is not related to my prediction. I think it'd be awesome. I know it won't happen, but back in the 80s when Bob Lazar was blowing the whistle on everything, he had talked about the 3 orbs, because basically how they can transport things. Because Bob Lazar talked about teleportation.
As he did.
Back in the 80s with this apparently alien technology, where basically it's electromagnetism, and it has to get the frequency and the I forgot what the other word that he used for it, has to be at a certain level, and it has to be basically rotating around this thing. It has to create a rotation.
And as we know, frequencies are what really control our body. We're made out of
Controls
water,
everything.
and frequencies can heal you and make you have different emotions: hate, love, calmness, like focus.
Yep.
It has been it's a proven science that the Egyptians and the people in the Mesopotamia era used to do frequency healing. So frequencies have a lot to do with potential UFO, EMF, teleportation.
Yep. And he said in those videos talking about the teleportation, then we saw that video get leaked, and then it resurfaced again, because it got leaked like a month after the flight went missing, 370. What was it called? The Malaysia-
MH370.
MH370. it all of a sudden popped up on YouTube from a nobody account. Had like nothing. It had it didn't follow any channels. No one followed him, or I say him. I don't know if it's a guy or a girl.
Them, huh?
Them, and they just uploaded this video. It's the only thing they ever did. They didn't watch videos on YouTube. Like there was a whole deep dive into this account. It got pulled out of nowhere, and the user didn't remove it. Whoever created the account did not remove it. It was removed by an unknown third party. They did a full investigation in this thing because it resurfaced. What was it? 2000. I think it was like 2022.
Oh wow.
It resurfaced again or something like that. And I got to watch it. I have a copy of it on my computer, and it shows a trajectory path, right? And there's satellites had actually from the cameras that we have on satellites, because there's tons of satellites in orbit, and so they were able to, they got this recording. They actually saw it happening through the satellite, and you get to see this plane, which is basically matches 100% with the trajectory and the time and date with that flight that went missing. And there's 3 silver orbs spiraling around this thing while it's flying, and the plane, and you can see it because it since it's a satellite that got the footage, you see the plane is trying to get away from these things and doesn't know what to do. And all of a sudden, while it's spinning, all of a sudden, bloop,
It's gone.
and you see the camera, when it's like showing regular footage, like in color, whatever.
It's like a flare eruption.
It's like a flare, but then it's just so instantaneous. It's just gone,
Yeah.
and the orbs are gone. But then if you look at it in that, there was another camera on one of the other.
Is it thermal or heat?
I can't remember if it was a thermal camera or whatever, but it shows the thing that it makes, and it makes a giant ring, like a portal. It goes boop like that, and then gone. So it's just like, I really hope that some information about that stuff comes up.
That's a great prediction. MH370
I don't know if they'll. I highly doubt they will.
potential. Well, this is the whole point of the predictions, right?
Yeah. Well, that wasn't my prediction. I thought of it.
Well, what's your
randomly.
prediction?
I think they're gonna probably release another UFO photo, maybe some more jellyfish stuff.
Yeah.
For the jellyfish UFO. I think that's really my prediction. I think that's really all we're gonna get out of it. Now, deep down, I'm really hoping, I'm hoping that I'm wrong and we get way more.
Me too.
But just how the last ones have gone, it's always been like, it's like zebra gum.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They all just pussyfoot around and nothing really comes
Yeah.
from it, right?
Please acknowledge my zebra gum joke. It's
I
like
did.
zebra gum,
That's
okay?
good.
To our one viewer right now. Love you, by the way. I don't know who you are, but I'm sure you're a beautiful person. It's like zebra gum. You ever had zebra gum? One viewer. It's very anticlimactic immediately. You pop it in your mouth and you start to chew, and you're like, oh, because then all flavor's gone, instantaneous. That's pretty much what every UFO Congress meeting has been like. You're like, oh, you're so excited. You're like, dude, I've been waiting. I've been saving up my allowance, 25 cents a week. What? Grew up in the 90s, don't judge. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to go to the gas station or convenience store, and I'm going to get me a pack of zebra gum because it's delicious. And then you get there. All this time, like hard-earned labor of 4 weeks of chores for a 5-year-old, and you're just like, yeah, I got my zebra gum. The moment you get it, you pop it in, it's just like, and the next thing you know, you go through the whole pack within, I don't know, about 30 seconds because you want the flavor. But you're not getting it. You're getting no substance here. You're just getting some cardboard to chew on,
This
basically.
is an amazing rant about zebra gum and alien
Yeah.
disclosures.
That's what they do to us at these Congress brief things.
And if you've made it this
That's what
far,
they did. Subscribe.
thank you
Or
so
follow.
very much for listening.
I don't even know.
Follow us on every platform: TikTok, YouTube, Rumble, you name it. We're on it.
I am very curious about this one viewer, though.
I can tell.
There's been no interaction, but they're watching. I wonder if they fell asleep. And that's okay if you did.
We'll take it.
Sleeping is important for the human body to recover, and that way you can function.
Well, they followed us, so they can't be that asleep an hour ago, though. But
I wonder if it's Baby Beef FSX girly. I don't even know how you say that, but I like the name. It's very seductive.
So if you
I
have,
like Thunder Bucket though,
That's
dude.
easy to say.
That's me when I go to the bathroom, dude. I'm turning that thing into a thunder bucket. I tell you what, there's a lot of thunder inside that bucket. It's loud, dude. Reverberation, vibrations.
hey, can I get through this ad real quick? This little like call to
sorry.
action bullshit.
Call to action?
And so if you like what you're listening to, please like and subscribe, do all that stuff. Leave a comment. It really does help. Rate and review us. If you think we're funny, do that. If you think we're stupid, review us. Anything counts, please. 5-star reviews are incredible. If you want to talk to us, you can chat us live whenever we live every single Friday. It bounces between YouTube and Twitch right now. We're trying to figure out how to get multiple going at one time. We will figure that out shortly, I imagine.
Well, we already know how to do it. Just we haven't done
we
it.
haven't figured it out. So
We haven't figured it out yet.
So whenever we figure that out, we'll be doing multiple platforms. Feel free to come on to our live streams, talk to us. We will respond to you. Send us an email at smartlyuneducated@gmail.com. It is a real email.
It's a very real
I
email.
promise. We will respond to your email.
It is a real email.
Shout out to Bad Cat Studio for sponsoring us, one of our only sponsors. Go check his stuff out at IG, badcat.studios on Instagram.
Yeah.
And if you want to sponsor us, feel free to send us an email. We would love to work with any sort of beer company, Guinness, any sort of protein company,
Guinness, baby.
Transparent Labs, anybody out there, Revolver, that'd be sick. If you want to work with us, we would love to work with you. So feel free to reach out to us. Again, our email is smartlyuneducated@gmail.com. And if you've made it this far, thank you so very, very, very much from the bottom of our hearts.
Couldn't put it better myself. But I will say this: our email, we know it's real because we've gotten emails on it
And we've gotten
where they
several,
told
actually.
us, "Hey, it works."
And somebody sent us those UFO videos last week.
Oh,
so-
that's right. Yeah, the pictures.
Yeah, the
Yeah, we
pictures,
got, and that's what led us on to all that stuff. But yes, please, if please shoot us an email. It'd be awesome. Thunder Bucket or Baby Bay F Sex Girly FSX FS. I'm gonna call you Baby Beef Sex Girly because it makes me think of beef. Because every time I see the BAEF, my vision's
Not good.
not that great right now. So it looks like 2 E's. So it's like Baby Beef FSX Girly. I don't know who you are, but thank you for following us. But anyways, thank you everyone who did tune in. This is our very first Twitch stream with the podcast. So yeah, we'll see you guys later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Fingers on the trigger, they pull without a sound. Behind the glass towers, we're buried underground. Secrets in the shadows, locked inside the mind. MK Ultra memories don't keep us blind. Static on the screen, voices we don't see. Dumpers got us wired, but we're breaking free. They're watching, they're waiting, with eyes